Well, the Wright and Co. law offices. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? I bet I'm sorry I missed it. It's Maya. So, what happened? I mean, I've got a pretty good idea who did it. All I need is a motive and proof. We'll get going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial. What's that? New court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. So many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. Under the system, trials have to end in 3 days. Pretty much. Got no time to waste. I want to examine them, thank you. Charlie, how you doing? Alright, same dialogue. Everything's the same? Alright. Don't get it, Maya. Oh, Mr. Hammer steal Samurai's costume? What, you mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah, but Mr. Hammer was the victim there. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Which means that the killer has to be one of them. Was it just a meeting between those two? Really, why? I've not seen the crime studio the trailer is. What? Was Maya always this excitable? Well, if you know anything that might help us. Can't see I can't see what's going on here when he is here. So no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go talk to WP. Willpower's right. Remember this? Okay. Now we're wanting to go. Oh, Windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick, I think our guard's down. Yeah. Then we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. We die. Woo, she's alive. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer of the studio bigwig. Love her. So she always gets her way. Seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Well, look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal, he's solved a pushover that everyone else consultant to do. Treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Why wouldn't anyone like being treated like dirt? Doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? Or, no, it's not Maya. Mr. Hammer? Arg? What about what you said today? Cheeky whippersnapper? Poor old Hammer, you drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling him a criminal? A thief? Aye. I won't forget this. She's angry this time. This is the new whippersnapper, and my poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he still powers his costume so he would never stoop so low as possible. She's hated. I'm going to talk to WP. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today, thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you were about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wound him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, the only one day left. Let's make it count. Yes, though there's not really anything I can do to help. Haha, I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Sad music. Could you tell more about Miss Vasquez? Well, the producer, she's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius. She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, what? And what? Nothing. Forget it. Well, they're tell me anything about Mr. Vanilla. Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director. Something in his work called Vasquez's Eye. She bought the Steel Samurai idea from Idea Tool. So I brought it. Everyone knows the name Salmonella. I hear it's pretty much that her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can't imagine him using it at a beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. Was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh. Yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in the business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. I just gave up being a 5-star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it. Right around the time Ms. Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago. I'll be back. Not that. Move. Let's go back to the employee area. Guess they're not filming today either. I didn't want to see them filming just one time. Trial would be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see the film later, I guess. This is where you found the bottle of sleeping pills, right? You were correct. Wonder if there's any other clues lying around. Yeah. No, not touching. Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean. I had a heart attack. Yeah, I guess I can be a little dramatic. Dramatique at times. I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique indeed. I am. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on the table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Races thereof. Now they've seen wisdom at last. And know if they fix it again, I just kick it off again. Poor assistant. Chaos. Literal chaos. The grate they used to cover the drain. Okay, I had a good. Little bent, I don't think it would fit if I try to put it back on. So I can go over the HUD down there. Remains of my employees' lunch are scattered around. Or the employee lunch. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean it up. T-bone on one of the steak plates. One is a steak. One of these electric powered bicycles. But I'm not using any. What's the point? I'm gonna post like, yeah. No. Tinted windows, yeah. Full powers. Going in. I thought the gumshoe, probably. So you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills now. For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Science guy gave me some testing solution. Reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there's traces, if there's traces, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Hold the type of gumshoe. What are you waiting for? Now everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright. Food in this plate had been linked to sleeping pills. Looks like it. Steak plate added to the court record. Investigation. How goes your investigation? Tell you the truth, it's a real mess, pal. People think we should pursue the case without already having its powers. And some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think of the gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I'd buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. Feel kind of bad for Mr. Edwards, though. How's Edward doing? What? Mr. Edwards is out of control. He was in the waiting room, and he crushed his paper cup with hot coffee in it. Well, talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, I'm crushing paper cups, bottles. Say whatever happened to that bottle. Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim, Jackhammer's prints in the bottle. So that means... Yep, it sounds like the one who powers is sleeping on the victim. I was right. Sleeping pill bottle added to the core record. I don't think there's anything to hit him with. See this, pal? Okay. Goodbye. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. The BP won't be using it anymore, so... What, why? But the BP's innocent. Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of the Still Samurai. What? No. Wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer? Yes. On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? Thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Still Samurai costume too. What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. Guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah, Ms. Vasquez, the producer, and has some kind of hold on Hammer. She has some dirt on him. He'd do anything, she said apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt, you know, bad stuff. I don't know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new Studio 2. Sort of accident happened during the filming, and then they put Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was too. The film set was that trailer part of the film set stage then? Or is it then? What do you mean by Still Samurai? I know it's a shock, but I think it'd be done to save it now. Never really did kill Mr. Hammer, also signed the Still Samurai's death warrant. And also, I hear the Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? Studio Big Wigs don't want Still Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all of this ever happened. They want it quiet. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? Look at all the kids who love the Still Samurai. It's okay, I'm sure the kids will be fine. Find a new hero to follow. What's SpongeBob? That can't be true. Programming just ends, it'll be heartbreaking for sure. Can I say something? Oh yeah, I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. Sorry, what? That kids love this show? Whoa. And this is a fan collection of all the photographs. Kids love the Still Samurai. Why am I telling her? She's a stinking assistant. She cleans up after the studio. I would think you would understand this better than anyone. I doubt she has an ear with the big wigs and the fat cats. You're right? Okay. What can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about the incident, or the accident 5 years ago. Okay, were you there? I thought you were like 16. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, let me tell you what I've heard. Apparently 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died. An accident, of course. Anyway, producer Ms. Vasquez managed to hush it up. And that's the nerve she got on Mr. Hammer. That's why Mr. Hammer would do something, or anything, Ms. Vasquez asked him to do. It was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if he worked it out. Let's see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know. In fact, try asking her. She'll talk. I want to examine. I know this is for you. Lots of snacks on the table. Completely empty. I have the eyes burning in the back of my neck. Howard's bag. All WP's personal belongings in there. I'll be able to come pick them up, right? I'm sure it'll come with us. Array of cosmetics here. This is the wig used by Samurai Boogie Woogie. Wow, you remembered, Nick. Thanks to you. They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. Yes. There are some Susan among these costumes here. He has his own clothes. I'm almost sleeping here. Oh, sorry. I haven't cleaned up there yet. Iced windows. Kind of dusty outside. Anyway. What? You still slinking around here? If you like this place so much, why don't you just take over from me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer. All due to Hammer. Starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. 5 years ago. I wanted to ask you about what happened 5 years ago. Dude, I swear, the Aperture Free had me download this thinking like Rock Band and Bang Band Baka Nikoi. The symbol they use for like the toast notifications or the push notifications, It reminds me so much of the push notifications from Postmates. I think I'm getting a stinking notification from Postmates. Anyway, who told you? Where'd you hear that from? Huh? Nichols? Nichols? Nichols, Nick Penny Nichols. The assistant we talked to. Alright, anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers? Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that, and releasing it hard no less. I suppose you think this is fun? No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you think that Hammer stole Powers' costume. Expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume. Sorry, Mr. Obdag. I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole it. What? A little empty bottle is supposed to prove? Bottle of sleeping pills? And Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it? What does that have to prove? I'm sure old Hammer had some sleepless nights. Ate a T-bone steak up for lunch, correct? What? So yes. This is the plate that he used to eat the steak. There were traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. I see. Poor, poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. A soul bag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. A soul bag. You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's it worth? A paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo. Well, it caused quite a stir. Guess who made it all better? Vasquez. He has ties to the Mafia. He silenced the paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But, you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. His old bag. Hold on a minute. For his old bag. Here, take this. Photograph. Ah. Wait a second. This is the picture. This is the trailer in Studio 2. Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on top of those stairs there. He pushed over the actor and the man fell into the flower box fence. But how did you get this? Don't they typically use, like, plastic? Not actual steel fence rods with spikes on the top for a shoot? It was a long time ago, and I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. 5 years. That's a great photo, by the way. Everything's in frame perfectly. Thank you. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume. Left from here to go to Studio 2. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. They found his body, don't have the card key anymore. Can't get in. That's kind of Global Studios. Apparently his name is Mr. Monkey. Mr. Monkey. How did you figure that out again? Well, actually it's a long story, I'll tell you another time. Aw, she's crying. Security camera takes photos of everyone who comes through this gate. It's gonna be switched on today. I'm Bush, maybe I'll sit down for a bit. Exactly why I don't want to get old ever. Hey, I'm still young, I'm just tired. Instead of having to say I'm still young, you know it's all over. I am still young. Hey Nick, Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello? H-E-L-L-O. Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. Excuse me? Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder, and... Perhaps you didn't hear me? I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something that she's really taking me off. Oh dear. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it. She did it. She's the killer. My fey blood speaks to me. I know it. I know it. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manila. If you must talk about that man. Perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer. By yourselves. Thank you. Wasn't the assistant cleaning up yesterday? Funny, it still seems pretty messy in here. She was still on that high from getting that rare card she needed. Sorry, isn't that in here? Except for the Still Samurai show. Got some figures for how much the set costs. Spending that much money on those sets. I gotta hear this dialogue again. Oh my god. It's the same dialogue, so. Excuse me. Nope. I want to talk to Gumshoe, dude. Pretty angry at him. Or with him. I want to talk to that man, dude. Excuse me? Alright, well. I'm gonna talk to what's-her-face about that. Not you. Anyone looking? Where? Where did you get that? Oldbag. She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right. Anyway. Miss Vasquez, you had the incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Uh-huh. It's gone stronger, don't you think? The wind. Why are you so weird? The conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Got her? Went inside the trailer. I can see that. I will follow. Pulls out the strap. You came? Well then, what was that talk about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Ms. Vasquez, you were using that incident. You were... what? You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids shows for Pimp Change. So about blackmail. That's what it was, wasn't it? I'm sure it was an accident. What used to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star? No. I didn't pull anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour with a reward. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And I think it was just an accident. Excuse me? What is this all about? You're saying accident? Accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Does that spell everything out for you? Think, why would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way. I mean, Mr. Hammer did it. On purpose. She's sweaty, dude. Where's nicotine pouring out of her skin cells? Skin pores. What I mean? Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Oh. Just think. Would he have let me run? Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over an accident? And I ran far, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh well. She was a big fan of Hammers, you see. Jumped on the reporter who brought the photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands. She did. Gave him a few bruises too. That's why she had the photo. An old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. Could have made a copy. He didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. No. What? Valuable evidence and boys. Oh my. Who are they? Professionals? They're erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. Shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about it. Where you're going. So long, friends. Always a race away. No? Are they right there? Heard everything, pal? D. Vasquez? Coming down to the precinct of now. Oh. Not bad. Very well. Here's the contest. We'll be decided tomorrow then. In court. Looking forward to it. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe. Sorry, it's just I wanted to say that line ever since being a detective. Okay. We got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. Who's at the bottom? Vasquez. Deandra Vasquez. October 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the first day of the trial. Final day of the trial. Both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. Today's session, the defense presented us with the news area of the case. Claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. They will call on people present in Studio 2 further that day. When their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. It seems like we're on today. May call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is the producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer of the day. You smoke in here? Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez, I'm a producer for Old Studios. The day of the murder, you wore the trailer in Studio 2. Everybody here knows, yes? It's likely that Liam is bound to. You must pontificate. Do it when I'm ready. Oh, very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Make her know she did it and make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Day of the murder. I entered the trailer a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp, ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate a T-bone steaks at the table in front of the trailer. Found Hammer's body later when we went to Studio 1. That's all. Humph. A question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you. The van. There's a van at Studio 2. Had him take me in that. Thought it might be risky to walk. But with the monkey's head toppled over. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. You're always this terse? Yes. I'd like to press everything first. No one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, talk a bit more about that. Witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. Thank you be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop banging on the desk. So angry. And what exactly was that? I've forgotten. What exactly? Maybe you could try remembering? No. Meeting in 4 and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think, come on, all you did was state the obvious. How long was the monkey head down for? Okay. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? Means what I just said. Had Sal take me in Studio 2. No. 15-ish minute break. What were you doing during that time? Doing at your desk. Irritates me. Yeah, I missed you, right? Oops. It was a 15-minute break. Did you have someone... You have someone who can verify this? Sal. And someone else. One person is enough. The murder during that break. She wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak if I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat the steak. Well, they can find anything. I know what she'd said a little more. It's hard, but I think she's pretty used to being the boss. Sure, you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. I wanted to... Break. I'm guessing so they transported the body to Studio 1. What do we got here? We got the autopsy report, the picture, the map, spear, the blockbuster monkey head, I hit the wrong button. We can just throw something at it for now. Mr. Monkey Head? Well, I don't know. I didn't think so. Is it just the monkey head? It feels wrong though. Yeah, no, it's not the monkey head. Didn't we get some audible feedback when we did one of them though? Like it was red text on one of these? I thought. God dang it. Yeah, how do I have evidence to eat the steak? That's what I'm trying to figure. I don't know how You can prove she didn't eat. Ah, whoops. I'm losing my mind here. I have no evidence that can prove she didn't eat a steak. As far as I'm aware. Why does that work? It's the plea. There are different steaks. Only one was spiked. Am I insane? Claim you ate a T-bone steak. But as I said, you did not. Is that Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. Plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone is left behind. Okay, it might have been a different steak. Mr. Wright, did I remind you that it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will. Ms. Vasquez and Mr. Manila ate at the table outside of the trailer. It wasn't steak. Or it could have been steak without a bone in it. I don't really see the point. What was the steak? Heights Rivera? Vasquez? Tell me how kind of person ate the T-bone steak? And only ate the bone? I don't think I know how. You didn't eat the steak, I guess? What do we want to get at? You didn't eat any steak during that break. Took your steak and threw somewhere. Like this. I see. What was Ms. Vasquez doing during the break? I would just assume there was a different steak. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai? Order? You were saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Ms. Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you didn't. You killed him with your own hands. More like a stinking spike into the chest, but... Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? Kind of stunt you're trying to pull here, right? Let him claim what he wants, you say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. Here I was worrying that today would be so boring as are all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see, what was that murder weapon again? I guess a samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use a heavy spear as a weapon? Could you? You have the right deal in the field using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ah, you see. Yes, however, that has no bearing on this case. Samurai spear was not a weapon. Any of this? Spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon. The tape probably would have broke off. I proved the so-called murder weapon. But this is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that the spear broke during the morning action scene run through? But someone fixed the spear. The security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is this possible? Someone has stabbed a man who's wearing a thick costume in the chest. Order, order. Mr. Wright, what are you down by me at? You know what you were. Silence. I'm the one testifying here and I won't be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? Samurai spear was not the murder weapon. Say, Wright, tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us? Probably can tell you. I'm afraid your confidence is sometimes being found in Mr. Wright. He fell in the spike. Look at this photo. What is this? Wow, why that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order, if I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, this is what is this all about? This photograph from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this to the outside. It was kept secret at all studios. What does that have to do with the current stick-out case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? It's happened again. Gasp. Mr. Wright continued. 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Ms. D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. And she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. It was like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he calls another man died. 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Whoa. Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a manly key on the script for any staff. Denying that what I say is true. Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument, the Hammer died in the trailer, as you said. If the body was found in Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, it was. And you were then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer, all in the space of a 15-minute break. I could have disposed of the body. Break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. But Jack Hammer had been pushed off the stairs to his death and carried to Studio 1 and placed aside his costume. Wasn't the time. Choose another way. Carry the body other than with your own hands. For instance, a stinking truck. No need for her to do this deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry the body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Ms. Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Gasp. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards. We went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. And before everyone else got there, you put the body in the magistrate costume. Hold it right. Don't forget, it was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was. Of course, Salmonella had to have been conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way that Vasquez could have done that alone. Don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. Probably burned it in a small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. Humph. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Ellipses? So, what happens next? Don't question mark me. Would you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that? What does it mean, D. Vasquez? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Ellipses? Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did it? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But, that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You like decisive proof, Mr. Wright? What? What? Order? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Humph. Of course, this is what it says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth wasn't sure. Well, came here to be as a witness today. If you have no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Testify again, Vasquez? I'd like to testify again. Testify again. I'm gonna give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I want to say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I already said all there was to say. What would happen if I said it again? Same questions, get the same answers, what's the time? hang. Goes so far only to fail. Seems there are no further questions. I would like to end the cross-examination of Mr. Vasquez. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting. Your Honor, I didn't. Let's see. Very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does that make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making just repeat yourself. What exactly do you want to testify about? Well, indeed. Verily, I say ergo. I want to hear about what happened after you found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. He was a bit on edge this entire case. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. Security lady Oldbag was quite agitated. Pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issue raised by the testimony. Mr. Wright, cross-examination. Maybe acting tough now. Put her on the spot, she sort of falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her. Right. Sal and Oldbag security lady when we found the body. What time was that? You were to meet at 5 p.m. for the rehearsal. So it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manila arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. Wasn't stuffing any bodies in costume, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, you could have put the hammer in the costume with Salmonella's help. What did I just say? Did I not say I wasn't stuffing any bodies in the costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember. What? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? It certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Sigh. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around. You discovered that murdered body, and then one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? Your defense in this one, well, Mr. Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without a steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting a location. No one would see he was missing. Poor Powers. Always explains it. Immediately called the police. The Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at the time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived at the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then, silence, dead silence. Ellipses. Silence. Hey, Nick. Is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something that lighten things up. Well, back to the security lady. Why does the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right. So samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. He could also have given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all of this after the fact. That photograph. Meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. You asked to be left out? Yes, it seems that everyone else was questioned. I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in meeting. There was no way we could have been involved, thus they covered for us. Covered for you or covered it up for you. Must have been a lot of writing on it with all those big wigs in the meeting. Sure, professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. Script and your direction notes. I mean, you had me get them from Sal, but you know, quite valuable. It wouldn't do have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I feel like you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? It was a murder after all. You think I'm rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well. How would you know there was a murder? To the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Ms. Vasquez said she didn't bring her script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Yes, obviously. Surprised I couldn't press a button. Order. Mr. Edgeworth? What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of the career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Ms. Vasquez, do you have an explanation? Can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? Kangaroo court, man. No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change their testimony to affect this reason. I knew the hammer was injured and couldn't do any actions. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal, he told me. Sal, the director. I mean, am I insane? She knew about it. You knew the hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. It wasn't the Steel Samurai that was injured, it was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself? Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. That's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending. One person was injured in the run-through that morning. The person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? That's mishearing? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. You must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was the one at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. How would he tell you the wrong person? Ms. Vasquez. You saw Hammer limping. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. That's just a tinier man, am I insane? Pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah. And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to be... would have had to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume. He went to Studio 2 where he was murdered. Exactly. Ms. Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who would have been injured that morning. Order. I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Harp? Sneak your way out of this one, Vasquez? Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star, and nothing that gained from his death. Nothing. He had a motive. How would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say to this matter? In other words, can you prove she had him, Of course I can't prove it. But that's what I want to say, but apparently I can't prove it. What evidence does the Miss Vasquez motive in the, murder? I don't think I have the proof. This is the photo from before. Photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Leandro Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on this day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, the accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, Leandro Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We're talking about motives here, yet you only have talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Mr. Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. I never got rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Ms. Vasquez's motive for murder. Okay, allow me to present the court evidence proving Ms. Vasquez's motive. I don't got that. And this tells us why, no, it does not. Sorry, there was like a 4 or 5 day break between me playing this game. I don't think I have the motive to, but I doubt they want me to say no. I really have no idea. In my mind I have an idea, but like I don't have anything to base it off of. What if I just said no? Is that no? But Mr. Hammer, who was out for blood, was push him off the stairs. And every time in this game, they've wanted you to press, then don't say you don't have anything. So I was just under the impression I had to press more. What's this no? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Ms. Vasquez. What? Your Honor. Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking it was Powers. And Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. For what purpose, you ask? To kill Leandro Vasquez, who has so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Her pipe. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes, I'm guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance? There's blood everywhere, we're too late. Miss Vasquez. What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel. Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel, don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No. Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth. Where's Leander Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. The column is collected as ever. I see, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Well, Powers, but it's innocent. That he should be found, so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well, this court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. Bad enough that he wanted to kill Ms. Vasquez, but I think he had tried to frame me for the murder. Makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Mr. Hammer wanted to put you to blame me because he was tired of losing? You were still samurai? Because I was a still samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show as the villain in the boot. Kids loved the still samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. You could have just told me. Would have changed places with him at any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Oh, hey. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the still samurai outfit once more. Can't wait to get back into my sweaty costume, man. Is something wrong? No, of course not. Nick Edgeworth. Say something, right? Not good at small talk? Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth? You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No. I really want to thank you. I just would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you on Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right? I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again. However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am settled with unnecessary feelings. Necessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. Listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Never show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Oh, Mr. Wright. Was that guy your friend? What, friends? As if they're rivals, Nick. For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why did I get a feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me, what's the deal with you and Edgeworth? The drama. So the curtain closed on another trial. I was quite disturbed by revealing the accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought that programming changed. They went back to making kids shows again. The Pink Princess. Nick, this is it? The new show starts today. You're going to watch it with me, right? Oh, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody in the system. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't that great that WP gets to play the league again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. Something in this world are ready for the real world powers. The end. I got a 4-hour case, dude. Not really, it's like 3. Brand new epi. I'm gonna switch games, but I will save it. Obviously. And we'll see the intro, I guess. It's been, what, 15 years? About that. Yes. 15 years is a long time to wait. You can't imagine how much I've suffered. Ellipses? You've ellipses suffered. But now, ellipses, the perfect opportunity, has presented itself. At last, I shall have my revenge. What? Blast him. Merry Christmas. Oh. It's too good. blasted them, dude. November 25th, 10:08 a.m. Wright killed all officers. Hey Nick, do you know if there are any good waterfalls around here? Waterfalls. Dare I ask why? Is it obvious? No waterfall to stand under, preferably a freezing one. Never you ever shower? Part of your spirit medium training. Of course, but I've been slacking off lately. You brave the elements to be forged anew under the rushing spring waters. Okay. Not many falls per se, but Woodward Lake is pretty close. Oh darn. Sorry, but them's the breaks. Couldn't you just take a cold shower or something? Good idea. I'm a genius. As for rushing spring waters, next time, there's in the news. Large unidentified animal was sighted at Gourd Lake. Town's buzzing with excitement. Locals are calling it Gordy and tip off the hat to Nessie, Loch Ness monster. Though his namesake Nessie proved to be a hoax, locals are confident that Gordy is the real deal. Yum, burn. Can't they just show real news for a change? Nick, the water pressure kind of low in the shower. At this place? No more pressure, huh? Why don't you go down to the fire department and have this spray your nose? Good idea? I don't think so. Apparently, fame blood is no aid in detecting sarcasm. We interrupt this program to bring you special news bulletin. Strange occurrences continue at Gourd Lake, but this time it's murder. Gourd Lake again. Body of a man was found in the lake early this morning. The suspect was apprehended. Sources inside the police department revealed. The suspect is named Miles Edgeworth, age 24. Edgeworth was an up-and-coming prosecutor, known for his skills and connections. He was guaranteed a long and rewarding career. He turned it all away. Edgeworth. What's going on? Edgeworth would never just leave like that. Nick, yipes, Maya. Fireman yelled me when I called him. I had bigger things to worry about than that. They arrested Edgeworth. What? You mean the prosecutor? He's a suspect in murder. What? When, where, whom, why, how? I don't know. Let's go find out. Next time. I'm doing some goddamn hitman. They're gonna move it over to my internal, so it'll be like 5 minutes. But I'm doing hitman.